Good evening. This is All Sports with LD coming back at you with another YouTube post from my YouTube channel. Before I get started, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. So let's get into it. Anthony Davis made what everyone says is some controversial statement, if you will. But before I get into that, let me go ahead and play you what Shannon Sharpe of Undisputed with Skip Bayless had to say about, and then I'll comment on what Shannon Sharpe had to say. So let's take a look.
Barely played 40 games. You played 40 games. He also said, Skip, that normally what he does is that he takes a month off, and then he'll hit 6 weeks of the weights, and then he'll start touching the basketball. AD, you stayed injured. You've had one season in which you weren't injured. Don't you think you might want to change that up? Bruh, you barely picked the basketball up for a basketball season. And so now you mean to tell me you need more time off? I give up, Skip. When AD wanted to get to that point, AD grinded. Yeah. Now all of a sudden he got that ring. Now he's going to be back to square one. It takes a special type of somebody to do what a LeBron, to do what a Jordan, to do what a Kobe. You reach the apex, and you don't admire the view. You find another summit to scale. Everybody's not wired like that. Anthony Davis is not wired like that.
Okay, so you have heard what Shannon Sharpe said regarding AD making the comment that he hadn't touched the ball since April 5th. Now, this article I'm going to get into comes from June 15th, 22, I believe. And I have to tell you, I 1000% disagree with Shannon Sharpe, and here's why. You're taking issue of a snippet of a conversation that happened some time ago, and you focus on the statement where he says, I haven't touched the basketball since April 5th, which I believe was the last time he played basketball during this past season for the Lakers. So you take that snippet and then extrapolate it out to all of a sudden he's not wired like a Kobe or a LeBron, etc., etc. That's a fallacious argument. Because here's the thing. In the NBA or any sports for that matter, no one can predict whether or not a player will play the entire season without any injury. No one can predict if a player will become injured during the season. And when you played sports over a number of years, and Shannon knows this, your body accumulates a level of wear and tear. And sometimes because of that wear and tear, what happens is sometimes you get hit with injury after injury. Listen, Kobe Bryant was one of the most prepared athletes in the game, physically, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, and yet he tore his Achilles tendon in the 2013 season. Who could have predicted that? No one could have. Injuries are a part of the game. It comes with the territory. And so for Shannon to take this big leap that Anthony Davis is not wired like a Kobe, LeBron, or Michael Jordan is totally fallacious. It's a false narrative, and I get it. They want to have something to talk about on Undisputed. I think it's the name of the show, but with him and Skip Bayless. But I disagree totally. None of that even bears out any truth to who Anthony Davis is. So, looking at this article here, This is what it says. Anthony Davis has stirred up some unrest among the Los Angeles Lakers faithful with a recent admission about his off-season work. In an appearance on esports team Nuke Squad's YouTube blog, Davis said he hadn't touched the ball since April 5th when he played his last game of the 2021-22 season. That made a part of the fan base question the 28-year-old's off-season preparations, even though he has said in the past that he typically doesn't start basketball drills until 4 to 6 weeks before the start of the training camp. But the forward seems to be ramping up his practice activity as private shooting coach Chris Matthews, aka Lethal Shooter, tweeted that he worked out with Davis on Tuesday. Now, again, in light of the statement he made, there's no issue here. He's already doing shooting drills or ramping up his practice, his drills for basketball. This is just under 3 months before the 2022-23 training camp begins for the Los Angeles Lakers, which is on September 2nd. So, listen, there is nothing to worry about here. Anthony Davis takes his career seriously. If he didn't, he would not be ramping up his basketball drills as of now, here in June. And we haven't even reached the summertime. So, for the Los Angeles Lakers fan base, I wouldn't be concerned. Understand that an 85% healthy Anthony Davis helped the Los Angeles Lakers win the NBA championship in 2020, the year in the bubble, fresh off of Kobe Bryant's death. This guy has already shown what he can do. And that was just at 85% healthy. Just imagine what 100% healthy AD will do. This guy is a real player. This guy's skills is unmatched. So I wouldn't be concerned whatsoever. Again, no one can predict whether or not a player will play all games throughout this season without injury, nor can anyone predict if there's going to be an injury or not. So for Shannon to make this huge leap, like I said, I 1000% disagree with his assessment of Anthony Davis, because Anthony Davis has already proven who he is. He's a champion. And it's unfortunate the last 2 seasons he's been injured. It happens. I don't know one athlete that has played the NBA, that's played in the NBA the last 30 years who have not suffered from injury. An injury such as that will sideline them for perhaps maybe 40 to 50% of the actual season. I know not one basketball player who did not suffer some type of injury where they were sidelined for a number of games. It happens. It's unfortunate the last 2 seasons that this is what Anthony Davis has gone through. There's no, just because he's gone through it in the past 2 years doesn't mean that's going to happen for the upcoming season. So, like I said, I 1000% disagree with Shannon Sharp's assessment with Anthony Davis. It is without merit. Maybe they're doing this for likes or clicks or whatever, but there's no proof, no evidence that, quote unquote, he's not wired like Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, LeBron. Guess what, Shannon? He's not one of those players. One of those 3 players. He's Anthony Davis. He's already proven himself to be a champion. Lay off. All right, everyone. This is all I have. Till next time, have a great one.